Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Much Ado About Nothing, and today we get to hear from Hero in Act 3, Scene 1 if you're in the folio, and actually if you're not in the folio, this is still just Act 3, Scene 1. So Don Pedro and Claudio and Leonardo have taken it upon themselves to try to make Beatrice and Benedict fall in love so they can pass the time until Claudio and Hero's weddings. So a couple days ago, we had the three guys talking behind Benedict's back where they knew Benedict could hear them, and they were ripping on him and talking Beatrice up and saying how much Beatrice was in love with Benedict, and he kind of sort of fell for it. And then the three guys were like, okay, now we got to have Hero do this same thing with her gentlewoman and Beatrice. So yesterday we had Hero sending Margaret off to collect Beatrice and bring her within earshot so they could chat. So now we have Hero and Ursula talking, and they're like, we need to only talk about Benedict, and you talk up Benedict, and I'll talk about what a pain in the neck Beatrice is, and then maybe like this will be a thing. So as soon as Beatrice shows up and gets in the proper position in the bush that Margaret told her to stand in, Hero and Ursula start talking, and they're like, yes, she is that much in love with Benedict. Benedict is that much in love with her, and I told him that he shouldn't tell her about it, because if he tells her about it, she's just gonna make fun of him mercilessly. And Ursula is like, yeah, that's probably better for him to keep it to himself, as opposed to having to deal with all of the mean things that she's going to say. And Hero says, why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, why, nature drawing of an antic made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very wildly cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth. So this is just expounding upon the fact that Beatrice makes fun of everyone and turns anything that could be a virtue into a vice or a bad thing. And she would make fun of any man for any number of things. So they go on this way for a little while, and they say, they're going to tell Benedict that he should just keep all of this to himself, because he's so great, and Beatrice is stubborn and not very nice and all of these sorts of things, blah, 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 and he deserves somebody better than Beatrice. And as they finish up their conversation and they're walking away, they're like, ha, 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 I think we got her. And they leave, and Beatrice gets a brief moment on stage, which isn't long enough to be considered a monologue for this particular project. But she does have a brief moment where she's like, wait, so people think that I'm too proud and stubborn and all that sort of thing. She's like, okay, well, I guess I can stop with that kind of thing, and if Benedict is in love with me, then sure, I'll love him back. We'll see how that goes. And that's the end of what a lot of versions call Act 3, Scene 1. So we'll stop with the recap there for today. And tomorrow we will get into more of Act 3 and see what happens now that each of these two staunchly single persons thinks that the other one is in love with them. And we still have a wedding to get to, too. So there's plenty left to go. And I will see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.